Love's the warmth we hold in a sea of doubt. Love will find us out. Oh, love, 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 it's the only way. Oh, love, 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 let it lead the way. In a world so cold, love's the warmth we hold in a sea of doubt. Love will find us out. Oh, love, 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 it's the only way. Oh, love, 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 let it lead the way. Hearts beat as one underneath the sun. Love's melody sets our spirits free. Oh, love, 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 it's the only way. Oh, love, 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 let it lead the way. I feel it in the sound of freedom. I can hear the sound of a revolution. I can feel the ground shaking. The winds of a change coming, coming. Sound of freedom, oh so loud. Revolution in the crowd. Shaking ground, winds of change. Feel it all rearrange. Voices rising, hearts beating, hope in the air, never retreating. A new day dawning, colors bright, embracing the change, feeling right. Sound of freedom, oh so loud. Revolution in the crowd. Shaking ground, winds of change. Feel it all rearrange. Break the chains, break the mold, embrace the future, bold and bold. Stand together, hand in hand, united we rise across the land. Sound of freedom, oh so loud. Revolution in the crowd. Shaking ground, winds of change. Feel it all rearrange. Break the chains, break the mold, embrace the future, bold and bold. Stand together, hand in hand, united we rise across the land. Sound of freedom, oh so loud. Revolution in the crowd. Shaking ground, winds of change. Feel it all rearrange. Never give up, never give in. We fight for freedom. We fight for America. We fight for the America. We fight for the American dream. No more will we waver. No more will we take it on the cheap.
are a few reasons to support DC Intel. 1. Timely updates. Get the latest breaking news and intelligence updates as they happen. 2. Reliable information. Depend on us for accurate and credible news sources. 3. Insightful analysis. Gain deeper understanding with our expert analysis and comprehensive coverage. 4. Community engagement. Join a community of informed and engaged individuals who care about current events. 5. Transparency. We are committed to transparency in all our reporting, helping you to see the bigger picture. 6. Convenience. Stay informed on the go with easy access to updates through our social media platforms. Supporting DC Intel means staying informed and connected with the news that impacts our nation.
We would like to invite you to become a DC Guardian. A Guardian is someone who supports us with a gift of $10 a month. And you will also receive a beautiful DC decal so you can post your support. And also you will get email updates for Guardians only. Plus special discounts on products and functions and conferences to come. Please click on the donate button on our eiobn.com website to support. Once again, on behalf of the Excellence in Online Broadcasting Network, thank you.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance.
Every generation stands on the shoulders of the generation that went before. And so you see farther because you're standing taller than we did and can look farther. But Reed, at least give us the credit that you're seeing farther because you're standing on our shoulders. We don't have inflation because the people are living too well. We have inflation because the government is living too well.
And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world.
If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this. The more people tell you it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider. Embrace that label. Being an outsider is fine. Embrace the label. Because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward. And always have the courage to be yourself.
And happy Wednesday, everybody. I believe it's Wednesday. Yep, it's Wednesday. At least it is here in this part of the country. I hope you're having a good day. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Not enough time, right? That's every day's problem. Not enough time in the day to talk about it all, but we're going to try to get as much possible done that we can. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. Thank you so much for tuning in today, live with DC. Lots of stuff here. Got some really big breaking stuff. I am trying to go break it all today. I'm not going to be able to. It'll just have to be later, because I literally just in the past hour and a half have been getting stuff in. Good stuff, though. Anyway, so let's see here. What have we got in here? Good afternoon, DC. Everyone from Georgia, Denham Springs, Louisiana. Thank you so much, Saints Girl. Pound, Virginia in the house. Middlesex, Virginia in the house. Lancaster County, Pennsylvania in the house. Ontario in the house. Pennsylvania in the house. Indiana, Raleigh, North Carolina, RCDC. Thank you so much, guys, once again, for tuning in. Sherry from Benbrook, Texas. Hey, DC from Morgan's Point Resort, Texas. Let's see. Hey, DC and the Patriots. Duncan, Oklahoma in the house. Holland, Michigan. Yep, Justice for Lake and Riley. Absolutely. Thank you for so much praying for my mom. Kansas City, Missouri in the house. Ben Brook Land, Texas. Sorry about that. My eyes are a little crossed here. Put some eye drops there a little bit ago, and they burned the living snot out of me. So, like I just came from a funeral. Yeah. But anyway, let's see here. Windy, cold Iowa in the house. Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Good afternoon, DC from Paul in Cincinnati, Ohio. Charles City, Virginia. Dalton, Georgia again. Another Dalton, Georgia in there. Good afternoon from Reedsville, Georgia. Wisconsin in the house. Meansville, Georgia in the house. Sheldon, Missouri in the house. Kenai, Alaska in the house. Coffeeville, Mississippi in the house. Hot Springs, Arkansas. Springboro, Ohio. Let's see who else we got here. Slocum, Alabama. South Carolina. Augusta, Arkansas. How's my mom? Praying for a complete healing. Thank you so much. Aaron and Leona here in Gig Harbor, Washington. Leanne in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. St. Louis in the house. Wallace, North Carolina. Ringgold, Georgia, back up in the house here. East Jordan, Michigan. Frankfort, India. Good Lord. Indiana. Told you it's been a crazy day, right? My mind is thinking and my mouth is moving, and they're in two separate directions. But anyway, Amite, Louisiana. Thank you so much for listening. Oklahoma in the house. Charles City, Virginia. Another one for Charles City, Virginia. Good deal. Minnesota in the house. Got Florida in here. Got Spring Grove, Pennsylvania. Holden Beach, North Carolina. Oxford, Alabama. Hamilton, Mississippi. Minden, Louisiana. Louisville, Georgia. Oshkosh in the house there. Michigan back up in the house here. Dallas in the house. Texas here also. Listening from the University of Alabama. Good deal there. Hopefully we can bring you some education there, right? I'm just teasing. Y'all know these universities are way smarter than all of us. Wink, wink. South Dakota in the house. Bainbridge, Georgia. Carlton, Michigan. San Pedro, California in the house. Rural southern Minnesota, small farm country. Alexandria, Pennsylvania. Jamestown, Tennessee. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much. DC can't express enough that your mom's doing there. Yeah, I'm going to talk about my mom here in a second. So, I got stories, right? I got stories. Wait to hear this one. Buckle up. Yeah. But anyway, Modesto, California. McAllen, Texas. New Bedford, Massachusetts. Childersburg, Alabama. Hutchinson, Kansas. Hearing horrible things about Garth Brooks. Unbelievable. And let me tell you something. What I'm going to tell you a little bit today is going to make Diddy's situation look like a flea on a dog compared to what I'm about to tell you. And it gets better. I don't know if I said it, but Childersburg, Hutchinson, Arkansas here. Edith, here from New York. Hello, Edith. Praying for your mom in Clinton, Tennessee. Thank you so much. Madison, Alabama in house. Let's see here. 189.100% in Ironton. Oh, Ironton, Ohio. Okay. Kiss my crack. Yep, you're right. Hey, I got news on those too, man. We got shirts coming out, like literally like about to come out on this. And they got all the great sayings on them, all the great sayings. Even the coochie poo and the Bo Shagley ones. I'm not lying. Any of the people doing the stuff was like, is somebody going to buy this stuff? I said, nah, I'll wear it. Nobody buys it. No big deal. So, yeah, it's all good stuff, right? Madison, Alabama, another Madison, Alabama. We got Washington State up in here. JC, good to see you up in here. Muscle Shoals, Alabama. DC, hope your mom's improving. Springfield, Illinois. Norton, Ohio. Anchorage, Alaska. Here, good deal. Rosemarie, how you doing today, Rosemarie? Plymouth, Massachusetts. There. Hello from Nashville, Tennessee. Praying for your mom. Thank you so much. Illinois, Springfield, Illinois in the house. Northeast Mississippi. I hate autocorrect. Me too. Let's see here. Spring Lake, Michigan in the house again. Another Pennsylvania in here. Athens, Georgia. Rogue River, Oregon in the house. Jefferson City, Missouri in the house. Bogalusa, Louisiana. Statesville, North Carolina. Mesquite, Texas here. And I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Middle Fork, Indiana. Pennsylvania, another York, Pennsylvania here. Owensville, Ohio. Hello from New Jersey. Nebraska. Belfast, Tennessee. Camden, Kentucky. What's up, buddy? DFW, sorry about that. Texas, Arkansas. Phil from Georgia. Missed you yesterday. Hope your mom's okay. Orange County, New York. Thank you so much. Crazy Train. How you doing today? Hey from DC, checking in from Long Island. Also, hey DC from, South Carolina there. Gallion, Ohio in here. Yukon, Oklahoma. Glen Rock, Pennsylvania here. Dandridge, Tennessee. Melrose, Minnesota. Eastern Shore, Maryland. Marble Hill, Missouri. San Diego, California. Tracy from May, Texas. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wisconsin girl in the house. God bless you. Thank you so much. Got that cheese up in there. Got another Kentucky up in there. Thank you so much. Crazy Storm. Weed, California. All right. Owensville, Ohio. East Tennessee. Jackson, Tennessee. I'm DC's tired already. I need an IV. I ain't going to the hospital to get that. Hello from West Virginia. Hello, West Virginia. How you doing today? Hey, DC, it's Marianne from Queens, New York. Hello. Maiden, North Carolina. Wimberley, Texas. Let's see. Chesterfield, Pennsylvania. Or Chesterfield, Virginia. My gosh. Sorry. John, Southern Illinois. No sound. Is it live? Yes. Hopefully y'all got sound. Anyway. Let's see here. What else we got? Lake Tahoe, California. Weber Mill, Michigan. We got Anchor Point, Alaska. Man, we got them everywhere. Falling Waters, West Virginia. Another North Carolina. South Fulton, Knoxville in the house. Let's see. Some are saying the sound is fine, so I'm moving on. Hello, Victoria. Hello from Victoria, Minnesota. Hannibal, Missouri. Louisville, Kentucky, my bad. Missouri in the house. I want a shirt. All right. They'll be coming up on the website probably by the end of the week. And those will be in-house and ready to boom out, shoot out to you. Traveling home from North Carolina from a mother-in-law's funeral. So sorry about that. Condolences to your family. Whitchurch Beach, North Carolina, Falling Waters, West by God, Virginia, Cleveland, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Martinsburg, West Virginia. We got several West Virginias up in here. And Ohio, Hamilton, Ohio here. New Bern, North Carolina in the house. Hey, DC from NC, praying for your mom. Thank you so much. North Carolina there. Oklahoma, West Tennessee, and Greenville, Tennessee. And I'm going to start. So, yeah. So, y'all are invested, right? At least some of you are. Except for, like, Reverend Rambo. That last week was the asshole of the day. That don't like. Sorry about that. Fat fingering the stupid equipment in the studio. Anyways, didn't like the fact that I called, that I like to welcome everybody to the show. And even, and on one of the T-shirts, it's, you know what? I'll say what I want because, you know why? It's my show. And that's right. Alabama, Daphne, Alabama, Chicago in-house, and West Tennessee again, in Greenville, Tennessee, and another Buchanan, Tennessee. All right, so I'm going to start here. So, I know you're all invested in my mom. At least some of you are. Appreciate everybody reaching out, sending prayers, asking. It's great. It's comforting. Mom's been through a big battle, huge battle. She's not over. I just got a phone call a little bit ago before the show from the doctors, and they have to do a procedure on her tomorrow morning. They just have to. Her life depends on it, so we're going to do it. And anyway, ADC from Clarksburg, West Virginia. Hello. And so we're going to do that. So tomorrow the morning, I'll be at the hospital with my mom. That's just a given. And I will be back on. I may not be back on by 1. I will tell you that, but I will be back on because there's a lot of stuff I want to cover. We'll cover just a little bit today, just to wet your whistle a little bit. And when I come back on tomorrow, it more likely we're going to do at 7:30 tomorrow evening. And that way we have a little bit of time to go over what I want to go over because it's huge. Huge. Of course, Donald Trump will say huge. So yeah, it's that. So anyways, my mom has been going through a ton of stuff. It's just been, healthcare system in America sucks. Let's just say that. It just really sucks because the problem is there's a breakdown between doctors and doctors and doctors and doctors. When you have multiple people, multiple doctors that cover, one's covering heart, one's covering respiratory, one's covering all these other things. Because my mom is bleeding internally, and they keep giving her blood transfusions, not huge ones, but enough to be concerning. She was in complete kidney failure. Her kidneys are starting to work good, right? Not work great, but they're working. We're pleased with that. It's been a huge thing. But one of the things that happened is my mom had a blood clot in the leg, in the femoral, and so. I'm at the hospital, and now for those of you going to be offended, I'm just telling you, you're going to be offended if you get mad. I don't even give a crap because it's my mom. But anyway, so I walk in the room, and my mom has not been walking, okay? Cannot walk. I'm telling you, when we went in there was so much fluid in her body, in her torso, that there was no ankle, no kneecap, no nothing. It's just solid straight, like a piece of wood. Cannot bend anything. But when I walk in, this big old fat ass is up in there, got my mom out of bed, trying to stand her up to walk her. I said, "What in the world are you doing?" "I'm here for her therapy." I said, "She can't even walk." And then, because what ticked me off is I get in there, and she's like, "You've got to move your feet. You got to move your feet." I said, she don't even hardly do that at home. Why are you doing this now? I said, "Do you realize she got a blood clot in the leg and you could dislodge that thing and it'd kill her?" "Oh gosh, no. Oh gosh." And I was like, what the frick? Y'all the medical staff, and you have no clue that a patient has the blood clot that could kill them, and you've got your big ol' ass up in here picking her up out of the bed like she's just a 20-year-old? I mean, come on. So she hits the call button. Here comes in a bunch of the nurses. Then they're trying to figure out what to do. So they move her into a chair. Well, my mom's just glad to be in a chair. Just glad to be sitting down somewhere because she's standing. She's been in bed now for 3 weeks. And they got her standing straight up, trying to make her walk. Well, I'm already... If you know my potty mouth on the radio, okay? You can go about half figure what are being in the room with me in that kind of situation is like. But anyway, so I tried not to offend as much as possible, but it did go on that day. But anyway, so get her out, get her in the chair and all that stuff, get her comfortable. And, we're just leaving her there. She's having to do she's on the big old mask, all this other stuff. And why does everything have to be such drama? I mean, seriously, it just has to be so much daggone drama. But get her in there, they're doing that. And, it gets better. Oh, man, it gets better. And so she sits in there. I leave, come back, do my show, come back over there, still sitting in the chair. Are they going to move you? I don't know. She can't really talk at this point. She's half comatose and everything else, and can't hardly stay on planet Earth in her mind. She's just out there. And so, yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, long story short, they left her there for almost 48 hours and didn't move her. And then finally, when they got her up and moved her back to the bed, they knocked her blood clot loose. And it moved. And then when it moved, it shot up to where it's causing so much pain in her back that it's beyond miserable. Now, you have to take someone that's already been through, she'd been in kidney failure, she's been in AFib, congestive heart failure, can't breathe, all these different things going on. Them taking blood every freaking 2 seconds, can't get the veins. So they, everybody's a perfect stick, right? That's the thing. And I teach, I didn't teach, I just made a smart ass comment to the hospital. I was like, everybody walks in here, I'm a perfect stick. And then after that, the fifth or sixth time, they're like, I got to find somebody else. And I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. So anyway, so they're doing that. So they're trying to get her safe. Well, then they decide, hey, we're going to do an upper GI. So we're like, okay, they're going to do all this stuff. So they got to do the prep, right? So you got somebody that's got all these ailments, and now they're trying to get them to prep, which means no food, just liquids. And then you have to drink that good old juice that they give you, right? The butt buster, that thing. And so, it gets better. Some of you are going like, I be living. You ain't heard living yet. So anyways, she's going through all that. Meanwhile, she's every time in between she tries to wake up. Mom, wake up. We got to give you this. Mom, wake up. We got to give you this. And I told him, I said, y'all have just a freaking boner to give her this test, and she ain't even coherent to even do this right now. Oh, but she has to have it done. ICMOD. Those guys come in there. And so anyways, doing that. Meanwhile, 6 days now. I want you to hear me. 6 stinking days we're doing this with her. And every morning they go, oh, something come up, we can't do this. So something come up, we can do this. So the 7th day, DC, what happened was the night before, my mom was in so much pain. And of course, we don't have any medicine we can give you. We're going to give you a Tylenol. A Tylenol. And we can only give it to you every 12 hours. The biggest bunch of horse shit I've ever heard in my life. I'm not kidding you. So my mom's crying around, oh, my back. I mean, the pain is bringing her out of a comatose state. That I'll tell you them. So I get her a heating pad. Take it back down to her. And now that was like 9 o'clock when I left. About 8:30, 9 o'clock. I come back because I had to rest a little bit. And I come back and it's like almost 2 in the morning. Here we go. Y'all ready for this one? I walk in there and the room smells like a freaking poop factory. Because, she's been drinking the drink. My mom's crying because of her back. And not only that, she's laying in a pile of crap all in her bed for hours. I'm like, Mom, my God, why didn't you call somebody? I don't have the call thing. But she don't say it that plain, you know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you what she said. And because when the nurses come in, they didn't want to be bothered. So they took her call button and stuck it back behind her bed on a shelf. So she laid there. Well, I got her call button back. And I took my big old ass down there to the charge station. And I went one by one. And I ripped them from one side of Texas to the other side, if you want to call it that. Too much. And when I looked, there wasn't there was maybe one nurse on the floor. I don't know where the rest of them were. They were all gone. I chewed them out. You're going to do, we'll take care of it. I couldn't stand to stay in the room. So I ticked. I've made my point. I've raised enough hell to have security back up on my ass again, right? Good news is I went down. I didn't have a parking ticket on there. But anyways, so I go home. Try to call my mom's phone. Can't, of course I know she's not going to answer. But still, you know what it is. I meant your mom, for God's sakes. And get up. And the next day, somebody calls and says, hey, your mom called me early this morning. Like, she did? Yep. And she was just crying couldn't hardly understand her, but I could understand that she needed cleaned up. So one of my friends, she went down there, got to the hospital. My mom had been laying in that mess all night long. They still never came in there and helped her out. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. So I said, no more tests. This thing is off. You're not giving her no juice. You're not doing nothing. Not going to do nothing. But here's the thing. This goes on all the way in America. Think about the people that are in the hospital that have no family to advocate for them. That's the crappy part there. And long story short, I told them we weren't going to do that test anymore. They could stick it up their butt. Well, then a doctor comes in, talks to us. We said, hey, nope, we're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done. We're not going to do this anymore. And then all the doctors, oh, but you'll need to understand. We understand perfectly that you all don't take care of your patients. We don't take care of patients. So we got that cleared. No more of that. And, hey, can we get her some more pain medicine? Because, you know, she's sitting here about to have a heart attack already from the pain. Okay, we'll give her something. They give her something. She starts calming down. Eventually, we leave. The next morning, I get a phone call from, this is day before yesterday now, get a phone call from my mom. And she's hit her phone, and she's got people talking in the background. Talking to her, telling her that they're taking her down to do this procedure. Oh, no. I start yelling at them, and then they get on the phone. Hello, who is this? This is your nightmares, who this is, Jack. I said, did you not understand? No. You cannot take someone that can't. Oh, but we did a cognitive test. Holy crap. You people that do the cognitive test, I wish you shove that thing right up your nose. Those things are useless. Useless. Oh, but she told us her name and what day it was or who the president was. So she's able to, but then they turn around and say she's got Alzheimer's or dementia. I mean, come on. Which is it, buttholes? So I tell the nurses, I'll tell you something. Right now, the nurse says, listen, I'm just following orders. I said, well, somebody ain't following orders because last night we had an understanding with the doctor. We were cutting this thing off. I know you're probably bored with the story, but I don't give a crap. You're all my therapeutic today, right? I'm just venting. DC's just venting. Oh, trust me, I've taken pictures of before and after and everything in between, and video. And so I just tell them, say, let me tell you something, sugar lips. I always call them sugar britches, but listen, let me tell you some sugar britches. If you all give her one drink of that nasty stuff, or you go ahead and take her down, I will sue the living out of this hospital. And I ain't playing. I'll be down there in about 10 minutes. And that's why I wasn't on the show. Because I'm down there trying to keep them from doing some stupid stuff. So I get down there. And I'm chewing them up one side and down the other. I was like, well, we didn't understand. And here's the thing. Even with the physical therapy lady that come in there, just yank my mom out of bed. I told her, I said, she can't walk. Oh, I didn't realize it. I said, what is wrong with you people? Aren't you supposed to come on duty and read your patient's charting? Find out what they need and don't need? Seriously. There is no bedside manners for doctors or nurses or LPNs or any of that stuff. You get better bedside manner out of people that deliver the food to you than you do anybody else. But anyway, it has been a crap show. And now, of course, now that we said no more stuff, you're tormenting her, you're tearing her, you're going to kill her, daggone it. Now we have a blood clot that's ready to pass through her heart. So now we got to do something about that. So tomorrow they called us, we have to do this, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. And so when I got there, the nurse I talked to that morning says, hey, listen, I read her chart and I saw where she was back on regular foods. So I went and got her a thing of breakfast food, brought it into her room, set it down in front of her to eat. And she started to try it because my mom she has hardly any mobility in her hands now from all this bull crap. And she got trying to eat when she doesn't spill everything. And And as she's doing that, the lady comes in and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. We have to take your food because you're about to have this test. You got to be on clear liquids," and takes her food from her. And she says, "And I did that because I read the chart and it said she could have regular food, but then the doctor says, oh, no, we're going to go ahead and do this procedure." And that's when I went off and said, "I will sue the living crap out of every one of you." And it burns me up because how many other people are sitting in hospitals now that go through that treatment? I mean, we're talking hospital. We're not talking about a nursing home, for God's sakes. I mean, you got all your... did she get her COVID shot? What the hell are you talking about? She get her COVID shot. That has nothing to do with it, dummy. Nothing to do with it. Anyway, I know COVID shot gives blood clots, does all that stuff. I know all that. I know it all. Well, I don't know it all, but I know what you're talking about. But anyway, so that's what we've been dealing with. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Meanwhile, one doctor comes in and says, "No problem. We'll do this, we will do it." And then 5 minutes later, you get another doctor walk in and he's mad because you've taken away his next day's, his nut, because he can't bill for a process or procedure that he can't do now. So he's kind of agitated over it. It's been fun. And then on top of that, I walk out and I got 2 parking tickets on my vehicle. So in true DC style, I walked over to the security vehicle, which is parked illegally, and I took a big old hocked it right on his windshield, stuck my tickets on his windshield, and drove off. So anyways, DC, balls of steel. Anyways, not really. But that's kind of big the thing. So now we're up against this deal because now they're causing, hey, having to do the blood transfusion today. If you don't want us to do this other procedure with her heart, we won't do it. But we have to do this or his blood clot's going to pass. I'm going to tell you what. I wouldn't wish any of this upon anybody. We did finally have one. And here's the thing. This is what brought reason to this whole situation. Several of our family members are in the room. And a nurse comes in. And he says, "Hello, I'm here to do the prep." And we're like, "Oh, God, here we go." And he says, he shuts the door. He says, "Now, can I just talk to you?" And we're like, "Sure." And he goes, "If this was my mom or even my grandmother in the shape that she's in and all this, I would not recommend doing this because it could really hurt her." Now, I know, he could get in big trouble for that. No, I ain't going to tell on him. But he was like, "Listen, I've been a nurse for over 20 some years." And he says, "The reason why you got bad people that was taking care of your mom the past couple of weeks, because these are contractors, or these people have just been out of school for maybe a year, if that. They don't really know. They just throw them out on the floor and, here, go give medicine to room 225 or 216 or whatever the heck it is. Go check this part. Go do the blood pressure." They do these rounds. I get it. That's their job. But it's also their job to make sure that the patients are taken care of. And so that has been our deal. So anyways, we listened to him and he was like, "Listen, if they're saying she's got all this bleeding internally and she's on all these clear liquids for days now, and evidently the blood that she is losing isn't like a massive amount because nothing's showing up in her stool or in her urine. And they're pumping her all day long. Heparin. And so, anyway, we're hoping we can get to the end of this deal. Hoping we can get, well, when I say the end, because that's the other thing, is I said, "Hey, we just want to get her comfortable." "Oh, so you want comfort care in here now?" "No, we don't want to put her out. Give me a break." And it's funny because a doctor, I'm the worst person to talk to a doctor because I'm like, "Why do y'all get a hard on for wanting to put people on comfort care or either, do?" He's like, "Well, I don't understand." I was like, "Dude, don't make me pull it out and show you what I'm talking about." I mean, seriously, y'all dummies. But anyways, got it all handled. It's all taken care. Well, it ain't all taken care, but we're praying. Tomorrow, we'll be doing that early in the morning. Keep us in your prayers then. And, yeah, we'll get through it. Y'all ask, so it's what you get for asking. So I told you. Anyway, yeah, we'll get to it someday about my dad, but that's a whole nother story and a whole nother day, and it's all good. Anyway, so news: Biden's trying to get us all in a nuclear war. How about that, guys? Everybody clap their hands. All right, and go Biden, right? So Biden and his dummy stuff he's doing. Good Lord. And of course, your mainstream media is talking about this yesterday. ABC, well, all your major media was talking about it. And anyway, let me just start with here. Maybe.
Wide into the war in Ukraine tonight, Russia's response now after President Biden decided to now allow Ukraine to fire long-range.
Let me ask you a question here. Doesn't anybody else have this question? I haven't heard it yet. Why is Biden making the call on that? Why is Biden saying, oh, it's okay, go ahead, he's giving the okay?
Sees tonight into the war in Ukraine tonight, Russia's response now after President Biden decided to now allow Ukraine to fire long-range U.S. missiles into.
I didn't know we were their master. I didn't know we was the masters of Ukraine. I know that we've given them way too much money. Way too much money. I know that Americans have suffered because of that. But why? I mean, even the mainstream media act like it's they. The question is not why they're bombing. The question is, why is Biden even given the call on that? Because he's trying to get America in this.
To Russia. And why the move now? Here's our chief foreign correspondent, Ian Pannell, inside Ukraine tonight.
Tonight, Russia accusing the US of escalating tensions and throwing fuel on the fire as President Biden gives the green light to Ukraine to fire long-range American missiles on targets inside Russia.
We want to make sure that Ukraine is in the best position to protect its interests.
But it's Russia also escalating with massive daily attacks against civilians and power plants across Ukraine. Those ballistic missiles, known as ATACMS, have a maximum range of 190 miles. But they've only been authorized to be used in Russia's Kursk region for now. Ukrainian soldiers seized territory there for leverage in truce talks. The US move driven by Russia's decision to bring in thousands of North Korean soldiers to join the fight. It comes just 2 months before President-elect Trump takes office on a promise to end the war in 24 hours. David, Ukraine...
Let me say something here. I don't know here this guy. And it's Russia, not Russia. Hey, Russia. Here, okay. My thing on this is this. One, why is Biden making the calls on this? Two, if he loves Ukraine so much, he needs to move to Ukraine. I think the American people we need some peace, number one. But at the same time, we don't want the peace that the Democrats want to think that peace is. They're going to try to keep stirring the poop pot. Of course, you got Russia. Russia is now bringing in North Koreans, getting that involved to fight. I am going to tell you what's going to happen here. Russia is going to sit back and is going to let Ukraine and all of them, going to let them, Biden's giving them approval to infiltrate and get in there and get inside. They going to get inside and they never going to come back out. They going to do it. Russia's going to let them get their men on ground, boots on ground, coming in like they're really winning a war. And they're going to sow them. They're going to just shove their head right in the ground. They're going to take care of them. And then you're going to have Biden going, Russia should have never responded. I'm going to tell you right now, I am sick and tired of us giving money to Ukraine or any other country. America needs it way more than any of these people that don't care whether we live or die. That's just facts. And I'm going to say this, and I know people, I cannot believe you're saying it, but you better daggone believe it because I'm saying it. I hope Russia takes Ukraine off the map. Oh my God, there's innocent children there. Well, you know what? You've had enough time in the past 3 years to get them out of there. I hope you understand that. if you are sitting in Ukraine right now and they get their butt handed to them, that is your fault. Oh, but what about people that can't move? What about people that can't drive? What about people? You know what? Enough of the excuses. Enough of the excuses. Because you know what? Ukraine is not America's problem. Russia's not America's problem. America's problem is America. Is America. And it's these whack jobs that have been in America and been in positions, leadership positions. And now that Trump, except Israel, I get it. But even that, Israel's making some really dumb decisions. And that's the thing about Israel. I understand. But Israel needs to make some smart decisions. Israel needs to stop acting like a bully. Because at some point, somebody's going to hand them their butt. And everyone can't stand up and go, oh, but we got to go after, we got to protect Israel at any cost. You better rethink that. Because if you pick a fight that you can't handle, you can't, just like I'll say, people can't throw the white card out all the time and they can't throw the black card out all the time, the race card. Well, we can't start throwing out the religious card either. Oh, but they're God's chosen people. Well, okay, I believe that. But if they're God's chosen people, you know what? God's going to choose to take care of his people. Period. But America needs to take care of America right now. And yeah, I know we have allies. I know we have all these different things. But it's no good. It's just no good. And I yesterday, I so bad wanted to be on the radio, and I just couldn't do it. But, you know, Republican leaders, you know, they're calling for the immediate removal under the 25th Amendment to this insane thing. It's an unconstitutional act of war, and I get it. But even that, guys, well, let's just remove Biden right now. Just remove him. Well, you know who we're stuck with if they remove him, right? At least for the next couple weeks. We're stuck with another witch. Unless they got some card they're going to pull out. But I'm telling you what. Brunson. I'm not sure what that holdup is. I know it's been heard, it's been judged, it's been released. It just hasn't moved forward. And it's time to move forward. It is time to move forward with that. And when I say move forward, I'm talking about be public with it, be done with, well, they can riot. I don't give a crap. Whoever wants to riot, let them riot. I don't care. Here's the thing. If we don't get this handled now, we're going to have some whack job get us in a major war. It's going to happen if we don't get control over it. If the Brunson case is going to cause people to pull their panties down and run down the street screaming, dyeing their hair purple, screaming and crying, all that, or if they're going to go down there and try to riot, whatever. Oh, Brunson case is overturned. Trump been the president. Oh, my God, let's go down to Dollar General and let's loot that place. Those kind of places. Oh, let's go down to Dollar Tree. You go down to Dollar Hour and I'll go down to $5 Hour. Yeah, we'll loot that place. I mean, seriously. If people want to act like baboons, let them act like baboons. Let them do it. Get this shit show over. Get it over. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I'm done with every day. Oh, we got this problem. I'm done with it. I am on page 000 at this point. I want it over. And if the Brunson case takes coming out and people are going to go crazy, then let them go crazy. I don't care. I don't even care. Politicians are really starting to realize that, well, we won't appoint who Trump wants. Trust me, the art of the deal. There's multiple ways around these things. Not everything has to be just voted on. You better research how laws work, how your Constitution works. You need to research how these things work, because there are certain acts and certain laws that can be enacted and then people appointed, whether they like it or not. That's why I've told you, don't worry about rhinos. Don't worry about people that are in there that oh my gosh, well, we know that they're not for Trump. They're Republican. Don't worry about it. They can be removed. They can be removed. Oh, but there's no way that can happen. Oh, yes, there is. if there's a will, there's a way. And I, yeah. So, meanwhile, you got Attorney General Garland. Listen to this. Listen to this guy.
Now, for myself, I may be coming to the end of my tenure at the Justice Department.
I want you to listen to his voice. Let's start with that. Pay attention to the details.
Now, for myself, I may be coming to the end of my tenure at the Justice Department, but I know that all of you will continue. You will continue in the department's mission, what has always been its mission.
Scared crapless.
The rule of law, to keep our country safe, and to protect civil rights. You, the career lawyers of this district, the career lawyers of all the U.S. Attorney's offices, the career lawyers of the Justice Department as a whole, you are the institutional backbone of this department. You are the historical memory of this department. You are the heart and soul of the department.
It almost sounds like someone that's saying goodbye because I'm going to Gitmo.
Are the Justice Department. I could not be more proud of you, and I could not be more grateful for all of the work that you have done to protect the American people.
And I can't be so much prouder than America voting in Donald Trump and getting rid of your butt. Amen. Praise God. Hallelujah. Yeah, I want them gone. I want them all gone. Enough of the pussyfooting around. Enough of the, well, we're just going to pray about it. I'm done praying about it. I'm done praying about it. I'm done listening to people talk about that. I'm done. These people, like this guy, doing his farewell speech is what it is. But what's scary right now is this whole thing with Ukraine and Russia. And why is Biden involved? Why is his own party saying, hey, dude, why are you involved? Why aren't they saying that? Why aren't the Republicans saying, hey, why are y'all involved? Anyway, but you got, like the Attorney General, you got him going out. You got him going out. He knows he's going out, and he knows he's not going out to just retire. You can hear it in his voice. You can hear it in his voice that he knows he's on shaky ground, but he knows he's also, his days are numbered now. It's done. Done. And I am ready to see it all, every bit of it, break loose. If you want EBS, dang it, bring it on. If you want military roaming up and down the streets, let's get this show on. Let's get it on. Let's do it. I want it done and over with. Done and over with. And yes, I have count the costs. Yes, I've count the costs. Yeah, I'm not someone that says something like I did last week. Hey, you better count the cost. If you want that thing, I have thought it all through, and I'm ready. I'm ready for the crap show to just go berserk. Just go berserk. Anyway, one of the things General Flynn was talking about, let me pull it up here. I want you to hear this, and then we're going to go into our next little thing here, and I'm going to wet your whistle.
Why was the CIA created in the first place? Like an organization like the CIA has gone adrift of what it was originally intended to do, and they have way too much power. And they have power because most politicians who have been in politics for far too long, this is why I think one of the things that Trump is really going to be pushing is this term limit thing. Most of them are compromised to some level. I mean, it's either money or it's sex or it's something. It's crazy stuff that, and it's not about infidelity in a marriage. It's about serious shit.
Okay, now I played that to let you know this. That swamp that Donald Trump was talking about, it's all going down. When I tell you that I just played the AG and him talking, pretty much saying goodbye. I'm still here right now, but goodbye. They're all doing that. They are all doing that. I thought this was kind of funny, the whole pronoun thing. This is actually Senator Steve Daines here. Let me see if we can pull it up here.
Republican majority.
Sorry about that.
Hi, I'm Steve Daines. My pronouns are Republican majority. I have a simple message for Chuck Schumer and for Bob Casey. It's over.
I got news for all these clowns. It is over. It is over. I got so much stuff. It's unbelievable. Okay, I had someone email me, said, I need specifics on things. I need specifics. I need more than just you saying executive orders. So I'm going to run these off to you, and you better get your ink, pen, and paper ready. And if not, you can listen to the replay. You need, for those of you that don't believe that the military's been in charge, and all that, you look at Article 2, Executive Orders 13912, 13848, 13919, 13959, 13885, 13958, Title 10, Title 32, 10, U.S. Code Chapter 1202, Title 50, Chapter 34. The Quantum Act, the Quantum Gov. This is the thing. These things did not write themselves, guys. Executive orders and articles and all these different things, they don't just up and just go, someone fart and they just appear and they go, oh, wow, look, it's an executive order. I got farted and here come an executive order. No. Someone actually had to write these things. And they have to be written to implement and work and be functionable. And if you go and research all these, it gives you the whole blueprint of everything that's been going on. And I understand people go, hey, I don't understand. Can you just go over this again? No. We went through this prior to Trump talking about now everybody wants to believe that the military was in charge. Ain't that something? After 4 years of people nailing you to the cross, now they want to believe it. Oh, but I want information on it now. Well, you're a little day late and dollar short to the show. So the answer is no. But since January 17th, 2021, every state had National Guard in their states, and there was parts of them that were active. I'm not here to argue. I'm not here to know this. I gave you the executive orders. If you want to know them, you watch the replay and listen to it. Because I'm done rehashing because people didn't want to believe. I'm ready for the show to hit the fan. That's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for that. Now, I told you I had a huge story. Now, for those that are loyal listeners, and I'm going to move through this very, very quickly because I have another segment I'm about ready to do. And I got somebody in studio here. But I have, it went up in 2020, right? But anyways, this is huge. I said to you, for my loyal listeners, how many times have I said, you cannot expect Donald Trump to come in. You cannot expect him to say law and order and just expect that the political world is the only one that's going to be shaken. You've had Epstein. That was your politicians. You've had Weinstein. That was Hollywood. You got Diddy-fied. Diddy. You got him. That was the music industry. And, of course, people, we haven't got into the countryside yet, right? We're going to get in that soon. We're just waiting for some more stuff to appear here. But, and I'm telling you this. Wait, let me just do this. I'm going to play this. Those of you that know who Marcus and Joni Lamb are, have the Daystar Television Network. I was sent this stuff this morning. And when I tell you I don't have just what I'm going to play you, I have documents after documents after documents that are like, not just someone typed it up. I'm talking like pictures of these documents. And it's going to rock. I'm telling you, buckle up, buttercups, because a lot of your favorite religious people are about to get the Jesus boot in the butt. Here we go.
Guys, Jonathan and Susie Lamb here. We just wanted to get on here because so many of you have been concerned about how we're doing, and we just wanted to let you know that we no longer work at Daystar. A lot has been going on over the last couple of years that we just couldn't talk about. but we've given over all of our evidence over to multiple reporters, including the police department. Daystar was contacted for a comment by the journalist Friday, November 15th, and then I was subsequently fired the following day, November 16th.
Some scary things happened. Being followed, private investigators, intimidation, threats. Even through all of that, things don't stop. So we felt like we had no other option but to reach out to a journalist. When you bring things to the light, things, get better. So that's what we did.
Absolutely. And, I really felt from the Lord that even though a lot of wrong had been done to me, that I was to stand firm in the position that God had called me to and to not walk away. Right now, Susie and I are at an undisclosed location because we simply do not feel safe at our home. Now, please know that not only has Julie Royce been given all of the evidence and is writing a story that will be out soon, multiple national reporters have been given all of the evidence as of this afternoon. They should be reporting some stories that will be out in the news very shortly.
We never dreamed this would be our lives. We begged God for months and months that he would take it any other route. But we have to obey in the end. And if he says, you know what, you're the ones who have to speak, it's the harder road. It would have been easy to just walk away. But if he says, I'm calling you to do this, we have to do this. And it's been a challenge, but he has led us every step of the way and he has given us so much peace. So I just want to encourage you, even though things will look horrible and it looks like turmoil, God always sees the bigger picture. And as long as we obey him, we stand in the truth, we tell the truth, he will take us through. And I know he will, but we do need and thank you for your prayers, because all that said, it has still been a hard journey. So thank you.
Yeah, it's really been a long road of suffering and it has not been easy, but we've stayed faithful and true to what God has called us to do.
Look at all the evidence, because a lot is coming out. God has taught us a lot in these last few years, and we've had to do some very difficult things, but there's a reason God told us to have this evidence. So I really encourage you to not just go by emotions or what you hear, but to look at the evidence.
It's been a long road of suffering, but eventually God brings all things to light in His time. And after giving everyone involved much time for repentance, the time has finally come to shine the light of truth on the situation. Ephesians 5, verse 11, to take no part in the worthless deeds of evil and darkness, but instead expose them. And Matthew 10:26 says, for a time is coming when everything that is covered will be revealed, and all that is secret will be made known to all. So that's exactly what we're going to be seeing here in the next week or two as these articles come out. And I pray that God will do his cleansing work in the body of Christ, and that he is honored and glorified through a process of repentance and allowing people who have been silenced to be able to speak up and have their vindication.
And of course, our scripture, which we love, which is Revelation 12, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb
and the word of their testimony. Amen.
Amen. Okay, good deal. Yeah, that is Joni and Marcus Lamb. That's their son and daughter-in-law. Now, let me talk about this real quick. Okay, so there's always two sides to every story, right? We all know that. Two sides, and I know I'll get some people email me or say, well, you can't just jump out on that stuff. Well, you don't know what I have in front of me. Okay. I'm telling you this today. You're hearing it first here. And that, now, remember I kept telling you that the mainstream media is going to start telling the truth. They're going to tell the truth on this stories. And I'm going to tell it, I'm going to tell you the truth on it. You just ain't going to want to hear the truth. You ain't going to want to hear it. And the reason why news agencies are going to start telling it is because, number one, they're anti-God to begin with. So they're all about taking down ministries. I am not saying I want to see a ministry go down, because I don't. It does nothing to the whole kingdom, right? It does nothing. But this goes, it goes beyond, it just goes beyond what you could ever imagine. And I'm telling you this. If you think that the Diddy situation, that that was massive, you're about to have your stomach ripped out. Because just as Epstein was for the politicians. You have Weinstein for Hollywood. You got Diddy for music. We're still waiting on the country person. We all know who it is, but it's coming out. And then you're going to have the big religious mogul. Do you not believe that God is going to reveal all? Hello? Hello? He's going to reveal all. He's not just going to reveal the nastiness that Diddy's done or anybody else. He's going to reveal them all. And I'm telling you right now, yes, Casey is a part of that. It goes to the point of having, well, we're going to touch more on it tomorrow when I come back on. It'll be tomorrow evening because I won't be on here because I'm doing the thing with my mom. But we're going to go over tomorrow evening because I have so much information that I have to go through it and go through it slowly to be accurate with what we say. And I'm telling you, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, all the mainstream media was just given this information. And I can guarantee you, it's going to go splat on the wall. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I have already personally talked to people this morning that gave me the information. And I was one of the people that they said, hey, give DC the information. Give him the information. I will say this. I've already talked to one person within the, well, anyway, I'm just going to say this. Anybody that you have seen on that show will be investigated. Ever. Since Marcus Lamb has passed away. Anybody that you've seen appear upon that show will be investigated. And you may go, oh, well, that ain't no big deal. I know such and such, and I support this ministry, and there ain't, you know, and we know everybody's innocent until proven guilty, right? But there's pretty daggone a lot of information sitting here. It's pretty disgusting. And it's pretty bad when Jonathan Lamb and his wife are in hiding because someone's trying to get a hold of them, to hurt them, to kill them. And that is his mother and her new husband's ministry thing, whatever you want to call it, TV network, whatever. And then also, anybody that even went to there, if they took if they took a honorarium, if you want to call it that, or anything, oh, we appreciate you coming here. Here's your check for $500 or $1,000, whatever they give them. They're going to be investigated because they transferred money. And not only that, and I'm telling you, I've been blown away. And I'm like, why me, God? Why me? I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to be the one to expose this. And I'm not exposing it. I'm letting you know because it's already exposed. It just hasn't become all public yet, but it's going to. Nothing can stop what's coming. And here we thought it was just, it's just the military coming down the pike. And no, it's bigger than that. Way bigger than that. These ministries that say they have a church, but we're not really going to have a physical building. They're coming for you. They're already looking at you because it's fraud. It's not the same. Because when you get your EIN number for your church that you're going to have, and you decide to do it in the bathroom of your home, that's not the same thing. That's fraud. Plus also churches that have side companies or side businesses. I know I talked to an IRS person this morning, an investigator that said, this here is just, with this that's going on, is just a fraction of what we've been following for the past 20 years. Their goal is to make an example prior to Trump doing something about them. All these agencies that Trump has said, I'm going to filter them, I'm going to clean them, I'm going to do all that. They're out to make a point right now. If your church or your ministry has been doing that, you better fix it. You better fix it. And this ain't just blowing smoke up your butt. I'm telling you right now, it is bad. This has nothing to do with just, it ain't just one thing. It ain't just, oh, well, there's tax evasion or, oh, there's fraud. We're talking rape. We're talking threats. We're talking murder. We're talking everything being swept under the carpet, sex trafficking, taking millions of dollars and flying airplanes all over the United States on the backs of people. Let me tell you something. If you've donated to those people, you have every right to request it back. Trust me, there is a law for that. Your churches better buckle up. Your ministries better buckle up. And you better make sure your religious shoes are signed, because they going to come and they going to look at you and they going to let you. And it has nothing to do with how many political people that you know. Just for the fact of you holding that 501c3 or saying that you're a church or you're a ministry or whatever, they're going to come look at it. It's going to happen. This here is the religious part. If there's a board of corrupt, a board of, what do you want to call it? A board of just junkies, Epstein, all these people. Somebody's got to step up from the religious one. And here we thought it was just individual ministries. But when you realize that they're all attached through one thing, and it's a network, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. And when I tell you I have money amounts, I have it all. When I tell you I have lists of pastors that I didn't even know really went on these shows, but I have the list of these people that are going to be investigated, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Some of them ain't even big name pastors. They just think they're big names in their towns. That's it. But they're not that big. But you know what? Since they think they're big, we'll let the government knock on their door for them and check everything out. It's not going to be a fun ride. But tomorrow, I'll have everything we can go through. Everything. Everything. And I'm telling you, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it. Anyway, yep, expose all. And it ain't even me. That's the thing. It ain't me. I mean, well, DC, you're such a troublemaker. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just not like some people that like to sweep things under the rug. You know, I know a church that had one guy had 42 counts of molestation within the church. But you know what? He's been a good saint. He's been a good babysitter. Yeah, right. He's been a good youth leader. So they swept it under the rug until someone finally got the balls to sue him. That's what I'm talking about. Why is it that the only forgivable, sorry, I got a guy sitting here, he's supposed to talk or something, but I'm just, y'all struck us. Here we go. Why is it that the only forgivable sin in church now is you're a druggie and you got to go through drug rehab? Everything else you're going straight to hell for. Yep, they committed adultery. Oh, they're going to hell. They can never be used. Oh, he did this. Oh, they can never be used. But you get them in. Oh, well, they've been drug rehabs. Oh, well, gosh, God loves them, and we need to get them involved as soon as possible. But everything else is unforgivable. Total bull crap. Total bull crap. Total bull crap. You're a cult if you do that. That ain't like, you know what? Let me tell you something. People are really going to stand before God someday and go, Lord, I've done this in your name, and I've done it. He's going to say, you know what? Let me tell you how important you really are. I fired you 30 years ago, and I didn't even let you know that I fired you. You have been fired from grabbing my name and using it in ministry. You have been fired, and I have let you walk around like a vagabond, let you speak in tongues, and let you do your thing, and you have been fired, and you don't even know it. Sort of like a reprobate. I'm telling you, we are in this season where there is law and order coming, and there is spiritual law and order coming. It's happening. Anyway, good God. Sorry, guys. I just jumped on that. And that was for free. But anyway, it's coming out. It's very big. I've got it all. I don't want to throw some out there that's mixed up. I want to go through it all with a fine-tooth comb. Because it is not accusations. That's the good thing. Not accusations. Anyway, I got a guest here today. I was going to try to turn a little page here, but we got on this here just kind of sidetracked the show a little bit when I got all this information. I was like, good Lord. I'm going to play one more thing. For those of you that have really been wanting this, I'm going to play one more thing, and then we're going to introduce our guest here. So here we go.
It's not like it's a storm or anything, but I want to say there's a lot of people
Gene
on
Ho.
the internet. A lot of good people, but other people don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to this. Oh, just want to bring up one of them. EBS, Emergency Broadcast System. I probably get asked that all the time, but this one you'll love. Because a lot of the things that people thought was going on, because they listened to too many people, wasn't really going on. But this happened today. Let's talk EBS, Emergency. All right, this is from CNN. All right, pretty legit nowadays. All right, but this is actually what's going on, because a lot of the stuff people talk about isn't really going on. It's people following people that don't know what the world they're talking about. But let me read it. Deportation plan. Trump confirmed Monday morning that he's prepared to declare, you remember that,
a national emergency.
National emergency. I don't know if it's we the people, everyone, my fellow citizens. I don't know. But everything that people were talking about seems to be happening.
Okay, let me say this real quick here, and we're going to move on. I played that for those of you that's really got your hard-ons over the EBS. All right, so that's Trump. That's Gene Ho talking about Trump and the statement. He's already, here we go. Y'all want it? Here we go. Now, before everybody goes, oh, is this week? I'm not saying that. I stick what I say. This will be either right before he gets put in, if they start something, or right after when he's in. But he has already set it up for the mass deportation. How can that happen? If we do an emergency broadcast system thing then. Okay? That ain't me. That ain't nobody else. That's Donald Trump. Okay? So those, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Well, how's it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Because there you go. He has given a reason why it's going to happen. So now everybody can get their happy shoes on and go, well, we're going to have an EBS. It's not going to happen today. Not going to happen tomorrow. Don't do all that. But he said, when he does do it, not if, when he does do it, it will be for the mass deportation. Praise God. Okay, we're done with that one. So I got a guest in here. I'm going to call him T. How about that? Is it okay? Call him T. And he's got a great story. And this is not one that's going to go all day, because we're going to have to do this multiple days, do his whole thing. But I wanted him to talk about where he came from, and because I think you need to, we hear the politics, we hear all the negative, but I think we need to hear the positivity too of what life does and what God does to people's lives. So T, how you doing, man?
How you doing, DC?
I'm doing good, bro. Doing good.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, bro. So I'll let you just start it out, man.
At the age of 9, I died. People are probably saying, oh, at the age of 9, you died. I had something happen to me when I was 9 years old. I had someone very close to me molest me. And the thing is that I was 9 and growing, every year thereafter getting older and older and older and older, in my teens, in my 20s, in my 30s. I'll stop there because I'm not going to let you know how old I am. But to say this, still trapped as a 9-year-old. The life of drugs. The life of trying to figure out and trying to find me. Because I was still trapped as a 9-year-old, living a man's body. The alcohol, the drugs, the homelessness. Giving a very broad picture of it. Like DC said, we'll go in a little more depth as he brings me on. But to say this, God works. God saves and God delivers. He is a miraculous God. I could touch on the addiction, the whoredom, to the point where I didn't like my flesh itself. So I had the enjoyment of taking someone else's flesh. Somebody will catch what I'm saying. state, meaning that I didn't like myself, so I had to get enjoyment from somebody else's flesh. That's where the whoredom comes in. That's where the lust of the flesh comes in, which all ties back to the root of when I was 9. Like I said, I'm not going to go into too much depth of it, but I do want to say God does work. I've been in recovery for, wow, at least 20 plus years. Been in ministry. I gave my life to Christ on a dirty mattress in a building. Woke up crying.
I think that is I mean to interrupt you here, but I think that is an important part you just said there. Because people, God will meet you anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere. And if your heart's right and your heart's wanting it, and a lot of people have a misunderstanding. Well, it's got to happen at church. It's got to happen at church. Got to happen at the altar. Although it's important to be at church, and I believe the altar experience is very important in our churches. Again, we moved away from that, but go on there.
Now let me just piggyback on what DC just said. I went to a church, a building. I was chasing a skirt. And I'm going to touch on it. The pastor of the church said he's touching your heart. And I said, yeah. I was drunk and high. Walked right into church. Sat there. And I was like, okay. Got up and left. That was a Sunday. And I spent about I'm going to say it, homeless and spending $1,500 on crack cocaine, pills, heroin, and being homeless, living in a big abandoned factory building.
It's amazing how drugs can be so powerful that you would not just you, but in general, people that are doing it, they would much rather be high and be homeless. It's absolutely. I've had people that I've dealt with in the past and pull up on people and check people. They'd be sitting in cars with needles in their arms, slumped over. I've seen it all. I've seen it when the parents sitting in the front seats of cars have their children in the back seat sleeping or either crying, and the parents be slumped over and you want to grab them out and wring their neck, but it ain't gonna do nothing. But it's amazing how powerful that hold has on people.
And let me say this. We never know what that addict has gone through to bring them that direction. Because a good percentage of drug addicts, things have happened to them and kept them at a place. And that's just a crutch to cover the pain. My crutch started with alcohol. Then it went to one drug, went to another drug, went to another drug. As I said earlier, something that happened when I was 9 was the root, and it just festered into and branched out to different avenues of trying to cover something that God delivered me from. And he will do. Like DC said, you have to be willing. And let's go back to chasing the skirt at the church. That was a Sunday. I'm going to say it again, spent $1,500 being homeless in a big abandoned building.
Think about as a kid, my dad, my listeners know, he evangelized me, pastored also, my mom would always go, I just really want to get you to find a good Pentecostal girl. And I go, Mom, they're a bunch of sluts. No, guys, no, they're not. And oh, yes, they are. But they holy. They got those long skirts. I said, yeah, but they lift them up pretty daggone quickly. I'm not interested in that. They look Amish. That was just me, but good Lord. But yeah, the temptation is in the world, but it's also in the church.
Sure is. It sure is. So let's go back to the big abandoned building, waking up on the dirty mattress. Woke up crying. And that was the day I gave my life. I told him, If you clean me, I'd serve you. But there's so much more in depth in certain avenues we can go into, but that's another.
Right.
But to say this, all things are possible.
Sure. And, you got, once you go through that, just because you give your life over doesn't mean that it's smooth. You still got your past temptations and your, and plus, unless God, and it is possible because I've seen people, I've been at old church services where people come up and go, I don't have the taste for cigarettes anymore, and throw them down. And I'm going, hey, I'm telling my friends, hey, I wonder if we can get them. I was bad. I was just bad. But and that's where I think even modern church today kind of, is, what I'm saying? It's like, where are the miracles, the signs and the wonders again? And yeah, I believe in people can have a true change.
Right.
But only time really truly tells that.
And let me say this: the church now don't share testimonies, even as pastors or leaders that have gone through certain things in life. We have to be real with the people to show that we once were there and we went through some things, that we understand what you're going through, and what we can speak things to you, because we weren't always saved. I know I wasn't always saved.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's, I think we were talking about, what's funny, guys, those of you listening and on Rumble and everything, I was actually talking to T, and I was like, hey, man, there's a guy that blah, 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 you remember talking about? And I was like, this guy, and I started, he goes, oh, I know that guy. He's a, and you've been kind of like, a different side of the spectrum from me. And I've been on this side of the law, and you've been on that side of the law. I think we've all been on all sides of the law. Right. But I think the important part too is being, Bible even says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and our word of our testimony. And I think that's an important part. One of the things that we're doing here at this EIOBN network, and we're putting together, and we've got tons of people that have reached out to us during the North Carolina disaster, and even Tennessee. We've got therapists and different people. We're trying to build this for next year to where we're actually having a phone system to where we actually have resources for people and stuff like that. And I'd like to have you be a part of that too, to where it helps bring a spiritual thing to it. And there's nothing wrong with people that have never had any problem. There's nothing wrong with that. But I would much rather go to a mechanic that has had things break down on him and he knows where to fix them. Right. And same thing with that. And that's why I'm like, hey, let's pull people in that have been in the gutter,
right?
That know what it's like to be there and get through it and know how to get through it. And because it's one thing to say, hey, I made it through it and the Lord saved me and that's it. But then, 3 years later, you're relapsing. And you have, and I'm not knocking anybody that listens or anything that's relapsed. I'm just saying it's just facts, and there has to be a support group, and there has to be, even if it's not a support group, someone that is support that can help you, because yes, the power of God is strong, and yes, he can deliver. Yes, he can heal. We know that, but the stats, if you want to call it that, or the percentage of people that are absolutely, completely, boom, just delivered of any kind of anything and walk that way, or they really are slim. That's why it's important to have a good backbone or stuff like that. So let me ask you this. So, and we'll get back on this at a different time, but what are you doing now in life? What are you doing now? Because you come a long way.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what you're doing, but I mean, these people don't.
I actually am a minister of the Word of God. I love outreach. I love to touch the people on the street. That is me. I have a heart for the people. I was one that cried in the wilderness, and I'm the one that can hear them still crying.
Right.
He takes me and sends me out. I've had outreach. I've dressed people. I've counseled people on the street. I've healed and delivered people on the street, because that's who he made me to be. He brought me out to turn me back, to send me back. And these people are still souls.
Absolutely.
And the church has to come up and get out of a four-wall mentality.
Amen. I on this show sometimes, I mean, like I said, I grew up around church. Yeah. I guess I'm the worst person, you know what I'm saying? Because people, especially my mom, if she hears you go, oh my God, the potty mouth, you know. But I think I've become, awake. I'm not woke, but I've become awake because I've always walked around being so. Let me make sure that everything that I say is pleasing to the religious community because they are the ones that pay my bills, and they are the ones that talk about me behind my back, and they are the one, you know, all this. And I got to a place where I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I see why some of these people that have been in recovery or they don't care about what other people think. And it's actually kind of a good place to be. Because when we actually, like you said, go out, get out of the box and start doing these things and get out of the box and move in what God wants us to do versus what the religious community wants us to do, you know, and that's, of course, that's just me, you know me, wow, all over the place.
I totally agree with you. And you know, let's go back to the church has to get out of a building mentality, which is four walls, into a building mentality to build people. You know, the church has to be a resource center.
Right. Someone says, do you know or heard of Nicky Cruz? Of course, I know you have. I know I have. Mm-hmm. My dad was big on that. Was big on him. Yep. He had I think it was him that had the comic books too. Let's see, the Warlock and the Witch. Yeah. He was actually a gang member too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's amazing. Well, I'm going to tell you something, T. I appreciate you coming on here today and talking. I want to get you back for a whole show, actually. Okay. So sounds good. Think about it and just kind of introducing you to the audience here. And we, you know, every once in a while we have things. You know, this show is just whatever. Whatever. But anyways, I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
And absolutely. And got a ton of people in here saying, God bless you. Thank you for coming on today. See, someone DC, you know, we're calling him. Yeah, it's somebody that I know. Yeah, it's somebody that I know. Hey, I'll tell you guys, and I'm not mean this. I know a lot of people, and a lot of people that are, you know, some people are not like, everybody's not just like straight law enforcement or just business people or whatever. There's a mixture of people. But the thing about me is my friends are people that have either went through tremendous battles and won or are going through a battle and know how to have people around and to help them win. And that's why I say Americans need to help other Americans. Imagine that, right? Imagine that. But anyways, thank you so much. And people saying thank you so much for sharing testimony and words of faith. You can read that chat right in. They're all up in there. They all love you. Oh, Lord. T's getting the show. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but thank you so much for coming in today.
And thank you for having me.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Anytime. Guys, if you get a chance, go check out eiobn.com. That is our website. And I want you to check it out. Sign up to be a guardian there and being a guardian. The other thing is we're doing the Christmas party in Tennessee a couple weeks. It's up on the website there, how to register. Let me say this. I'm not taking care of that part of it. I got somebody else taking care of that. But I'm going to say this. If you sign up for that, okay? If you sign up and say you buy a ticket or whatever you're doing, you got to put your name in there. Because if you don't put your name in there, we just have somebody bought a ticket and that's it. And then and the people's taking care of it have to research back and try to find out who put it in there with their card and all that. So there's a box in there for your name, address, phone number, all that good stuff. Got a lot of good things that's coming up for that. Seats are going very quiet, very, very fast. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow evening, and we'll be, this thing kind of took the wind out of myself a little bit today with this information that I got. But anyways, Mr. Loud Pensacola, almost in. Oh, it's okay, Laura. Catch the replay. Anyway, good stuff. Check out eiobn.com. Thank you, everybody, for your kind words and your prayers, and keep them up. And I will see y'all tomorrow at 7:30. 7:30. All right? Have a great day.